go back. So Scott, obviously, by the way, confetti, I've got to say confetti can't do the case, just put it in your pocket to save it in the next one. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, can I just make a couple of announcements before we start the ceremony? First of all, thank you all for keeping your masks on, that's great. We are not expecting fire drills today, so if the fire alarm goes off, it's genuine and we need to run. There is a fire escape at the back and there's one here as well. Obviously, I don't think it will happen, but in the unlikely event. The second one is mobile phones. Could we please make sure that everybody's mobiles are switched, preferably off? That would be fantastic. We've had some very awkward ringtones going on at very, very awkward moments. We would hate for that to happen today. In terms of photography, I know that you're going to be wanting to take lots and lots of photos. Obviously, we have our official photographer here today. Could we perhaps suggest that you take some photos, certainly as Jess arrives looking absolutely stunning, but perhaps then try and keep your photo taking to a minimum so that our professional here can get as many photos. Oh, are you the professional as well? Or have you just got a nice camera?
I'll give you my card after.
And I said, rather than everybody jumping up and down with phones, etc., it would be lovely if both our photographers could get pictures of everybody's smiling faces today. That would be very much appreciated. And we are almost ready to start, so chat amongst yourselves for a little longer and we'll be back with you shortly.
This is my
So ladies and gentlemen, can I please ask those that are able to stand to welcome the beginning of the wedding party? Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the beautiful Sopley Mill on this very, very special occasion for the James and for Jess. My name is Jane Godfrey, and my colleague today is Naomi Chetland, and together we represent Hampshire Registration Service. Throughout today's ceremony, Naomi has the very important task of making a legal and historical record of this marriage in the marriage register, whilst I have the very great privilege of guiding the two of you through your wedding vows. Once the register is complete, it will be archived in the safe in Winchester, along with all our other registers dating back to 1837. So today your marriage really does become part of a very long local Hampshire history. And we should just make a special mention and a welcome to all the people that I think are going to be listening and watching this on streaming live. I know that you would much rather have them here in the room with you, but let them know that we're going to have just as much of a special occasion, even if they're watching via a screen. And you, their guests, have been chosen to be here today to witness what is at heart a very private moment between two people as they make their commitment to each other. You'll become part of the memories of this day, and you will be helping them to celebrate at some stage in the future, if not today, in true style. So it is that we are gathered here today in this room, which has been duly sanctioned by law for the celebration of marriage. And I must now ask you both to confirm your full names. So James, your full name, please.
James Matthew Redfords Clifton.
Excellent. Quite a lot to remember. And Jess, your full name, please.
Jessica Louise Barker.
It's always a huge relief for registrars when we reach this point in the ceremony, and we know that we have the right people in the right place at the right time. So well done, very good start. Now, marriage joins two people who trust the love that they have found. It is a partnership in which each can grow while sharing in the development of the other. And it is a statement to all around you what you already know. Namely, that you have found that very finest quality of love, support and friendship that you wish to share for the rest of your lives. And today you will affirm your relationship by offering each other the security which comes from legally binding vows, sincerely made and faithfully kept. James and Jess, before you are joined in matrimony, I have to remind you of the solemn and binding nature of the vows that you are about to make. Marriage in this country means the union of two people voluntarily entered into for life and to the exclusion of all others. It is a solemn union that provides the love and friendship, help and comfort that each should have for the other, both in times of joy and in times of trouble. It is not to be entered into lightly, nor is it likely to be set aside. Now, before we proceed with the ceremony, I must now ask that if anyone present knows of any just cause or lawful impediment why this marriage should not take place, they should declare it now. I was watching the back 2 rows. Perfectly behaved, well done. And I now have to ask each of you in turn to declare honestly and truthfully that to the best of your knowledge and belief, there is no lawful reason why you should not be joined together in marriage. So James, I'm going to come to you first. If you could repeat after me, please. I declare that I know of no legal reason why I, James Matthew Redvers Clifton, may not be joined in marriage to Jessica Louise Barker. Well done. Your turn, Jess. No pressure. You could repeat after me, please. I declare that I know of no legal reason why I, Jessica Louise Barker, may not be joined in marriage to James Matthew Redvers Clifton. Well done. Word perfect. Well done. Now, marriage is a verbal contract which is publicly shared. It is not only a legal contract between two people, but it is a bond based in trust and respect that should hold the two of you together throughout your lives. You have invited your family and friends here today to witness your marriage, and so I ask you now, in their presence, to respond with the words "I do" to the following question. James, do you wish to be joined in marriage to Jess, promising to love her and remain true to her for the rest of your life?
I do.
And Jess, do you wish to be joined in marriage to James, promising to love him and remain true to him for the rest of your life?
I do.
Excellent. So now the moment has come for James and Jess to contract their marriage before you, their witnesses. So could I therefore ask those of you who are able to stand to share this special moment with them? And I would normally at this stage ask the couple to join both hands and to face each other. Look, they beat me to that, so that's okay. And the reason I ask you to do this is because you are about to make a verbal contract before witnesses, and the vows you make to each other. So James, I'm going to come to you first. If you could repeat after me, please. I, James Matthew Redvers Clifton. Take you, Jessica Louise Barker. To be my wedded wife. 50%. Your turn, Jess. If you could repeat after me, please. I, Jessica Louise Barker. Take you, James Matthew Redvers Clifton. To be my wedded husband. Well done. Thank you, everybody. And please take your seats. Well done. So we now come to the exchanging of rings. Now this is the ancient and traditional way of sealing the marriage contract. The ring is an unbroken circle with no beginning and no end, and it symbolises the unending and everlasting love that you have for one another, and is the outward sign of the lifelong promises that you have just made today. Now Adrian, I believe you're the keeper of the rings. If I could ask you to step forward, thank you. So James, if I could ask you to place that ring on the third finger of Jess's left hand. I said she'd give you a clue, but there you go. And if you could hold it there, repeat after me, please. I give you this ring.
I give you this ring
as a symbol of my love and affection.
as a symbol of my love and affection.
And all that we share together.
And all that we share together.
Excellent. Is it on there fully? Perfect. Well done. It's not coming off, that's fine. And then if I could ask you to present your ring to Jess. And again, Jess, if you could place it onto the third finger, James's left hand, and still holding it there, repeat after me. I give you this ring.
I give you this ring
as a symbol of my love and affection.
as a symbol of my love and affection.
And all that we share together.
All that we share together.
Excellent, on it goes. May these rings be a reminder to you both always of the vows that you have made today. So marriage is a promise made in the hearts of two people who love one another, which takes a lifetime to fulfill. It gives you a shared vision for the future, which needs constant tending to handle the pressures of everyday life. So if at times that vision becomes a little hard to handle, try to remember what brought you together, to this place and to this very special moment today. May you always be able to talk things over, confide in each other, and support and encourage one another. And laugh together a lot. I don't think that'll be a problem at all today. May the everyday things become special and the special things become truly wonderful, and may you remain the greatest of friends. Above all, may you find a lifetime of true happiness. James and Jess, you have made a solemn and binding contract with each other here in the presence of your family and your friends. So it is my very great pleasure to announce, at last, you are husband and wife, and now you can kiss your beautiful bride. Congratulations. So ladies and gentlemen, we actually have some formalities to complete with our paperwork now. We can't have any photography taken at all at this stage. Data protection purposes, it's not us being awkward, but we will be talking back with you shortly. I do think we've got some more music to be played, and chat amongst yourselves. What's on?
Congratulations, both of you.
Thank you very much.
So before I get you to sign, just double check that I have copied it across correctly for you. So James, you're the top line, and Jess, you're underneath there. And James' pen has all been sanitised. So it's good to go. If I can get you to sign on the top, and Jess, you to sign underneath it. Yeah.
You're going to have to change that signature in a minute. Hodge has got his suit. You've got the wrong one. You've got a next suit, so his mum had to run it over to him. Then you've got here at half. They literally arrived at half 11 with his suit that was actually supposed to be.
Absolute nightmare. Someone was going to do something.
I've never seen one. I've never been on time.
Behind you.
Wait till you make straight on.
So if I could ask for the music to be turned down again, please. So ladies and gentlemen, we are almost at the end of today's ceremony. There is one sort of final piece of the jigsaw, and that is your marriage certificate. Now, this is a very important document, not least because it's a handwritten document. We have very, very few handwritten documents left in this country, and this won't be handwritten for very much longer. So you have the two in here, two handwritten certificates in Naomi's spare hand. So, because tradition says that because it is such an important document, it should go to the person considered to be the most responsible. Obviously, we couldn't begin to possibly make a hazard a guess. We only met James and Jess fairly earlier on today.
It's Jess.
However, you have two female registrars, James. You never stood a chance. I'm going to leave that there for you. And now you don't have a pocket in that beautiful dress, so you may have to let James look after it, or perhaps pass it on to somebody else to look after it. Because she doesn't trust him at all. If I could ask the two of you to step forward to the front of the table, please. And perhaps you'd like to take your lovely flowers. I didn't get to see whether you were right or left-handed, James.
Right.
Actually, so I need you to swap sides for this part of the ceremony.
What side?
And perhaps if you want to give your certificate something, take your beautiful flowers.
Thank you.
And again, another piece of wedding tradition. And the reason I asked James whether he was right or left-handed, tradition has it that the groom should leave the ceremony with his sword arm free. Ready to fight off unsuitable suitors and dragons. And neither of which we have here today, so that's perfectly okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, that does bring us to the end of today's ceremony. It only remains for me, on behalf of Naomi and myself, to congratulate you both. It's been an absolute pleasure to have been involved on such a special occasion. I did mention to James and to Jess earlier that although these are very strange times and that there is madness going on outside us, the actual ceremony today is exactly the same ceremony that would have taken place in August or in April or whatever, so it's exactly the same, and that is what matters at the end of the day. So if I could for one last time please ask those of you who are ready to stand. And let's see if we can't give a really rousing welcome and raise the rafters here at Sopley Mill as we welcome the newly married and very, very happy new Mr. and Mrs. Clifton. Congratulations.